Hey, happy Thursday, traders. What's going on? Is Peter? Is no one on the mic right now? Is anyone here? Yeah, what's up, Ann? And what's up, YouTube traders? We're gonna get into the trade review, and if you have any trades you want to submit and you're not a member, that's okay. You can submit them here at the link I just posted. What's up, Sassen, Jerome, Lovin, H, Steven, Greg. Hey, happy and everyone else that I missed. Yeah, what's up, guys? So, we'll get straight into the trade review for today. Try to start on time today. And we're not requiring anything yet, but I will start a forum post today, tomorrow, this weekend about what we're looking for on the trade reviews. But for now, they are good how they are. And how'd people do? Were there some good moves? I left it about an hour into the market after I just got so lucky. Just so lucky that made my day good. It was so stupid. Hate when that happens. But when it does, gotta take advantage of it. But how'd the rest of you guys do? I mean, how did, were there some good trades after an hour in the market? No, that's what I meant. Yep, that's what we gotta do sometimes, Mike. Alright, so we'll look at some of these trades. So send your trades in the off topic. You guys know the deal here, so it's really good. And we'll get straight to it today. And I'm going to set my own timer. Actually, well, if anyone wants to time me, that would be helpful. But I'm going to make sure I'm 3 to 5 minutes on each of these, so we can try to get through all of them, if possible. So Vladimir and Mark. After 3 red days, that's good, James. That's really good. Greg, up 3.6R. That's really good. All right. That's good, guys. All right, so I think this is Mark. Mark, are you here? Or no, this is Vladimir. Hey, okay, and I want to ask. So I have my mic over here to get out of my face. How does it sound versus if it's right in my face right now? Does that sound any better? It's right in front of me, and now it's over to the right. Is one of them clearer than the other and sounding good? All right, well then I'll get it on my face. Sweet. All right, thanks guys. What's up, YouTube? Donovan Ruhr. Yeah, I traded both of those and didn't get the good ones that hopefully you guys got. If you have any trades, you can try to submit them over there. All right, but Vladimir, it's okay, man. Just, you don't have to do it. We're not making any requirements yet, but we are going to in the future. All right, so remember, the point of these trade reviews is for each individual person to get their trade reviewed and for them to get feedback on it from me and other people. But then it's for everyone else to see how other people look at a chart and make trades. Maybe you traded NTNX, maybe you didn't. If you did trade it and you traded it the exact opposite, this trade review for this trade will be very, very insightful. If you didn't trade it, you could still kind of pretend what would you do here and how would you trade it. So that's what we want to do here. Alright, first long, unnecessary, was having FOMO that it will go without me, paid the price for it. So this was a long and a quick stop out, alright? So you got, is this the 1 minute candle? Okay, 1 minute, yeah, I saw this. Does a huge pullback, right? And it just engulfs. It doesn't even close. So we don't need to comment on that, Vladimir, right? You understood it. Maybe if it closed right here and found something, you could make some sort of quick play. Yeah, Alejandro, send it to the off topic. But right, this just completely engulfed it. Now, Vladimir, I love that you didn't go short because this was the big gap up. It had the moving average, so the long is the good idea. You just need a valid setup. And oh my god, what if you don't trade in the first 1 minute, the first 2 minutes, or the first 5 minutes? 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 5th minute. You could have traded at this close or right here, and it still would have been decent. But you got in 1 minute chart. Once I saw that piece really reject the 20, it makes a new 1 minute high. It's a gap up. It's off of support. It Yeah, on all the time frames looked good for a long. You just needed a good setup, Vladimir. Yeah, this is a really FOMO, fear of missing out long, as you said. This long is perfect, right? Sold 50% of my position here and here. All right, so on this, where was your stop? If you are going to be wrong, Vladimir, where was your stop placement? The stop was below the 50. Is this the 50 right here? The black. Perfect. So here's your stop. So this looks about like a 2 to 2.5 to 1 or something like that, right, Vladimir? Roughly 2 to 1. Yeah, Seth, right? This is a good, this is a great trade. I love it. It's a really great trade. You have good risk. You have good reward. The daily was good. All the moving averages are good. Yeah, love it. That's a really good trade. Get out, 25%. And then, awesome. Where did you put, after these two exits, where did you put your final, where did you have your stop? Did you keep it down here? Did you move it up to here for break even? Did you do it at some other level? Where'd you do it, man? Stop. So you moved your stop to your break even? Heck yeah. You guys, I didn't see it at first. You see this way over here? He held. He let 25% ride. That's awesome. So what was your reward there? Did you calculate it? Is that like a 4 or 5 or something? Yeah, Macho Man, send it to the other chat in the off topic. Unless it's something like identical to this trade. Yeah, Vladimir, I love that. Really great stuff. Okay, Vladimir, so what you can work on is this, right? It's really hard to trade in the first 2 minutes. It's really easy to get FOMO. It's engulfing on the one, so you're trying to buy it at support. I get that. Like, that's what you obviously saw. But it didn't even close. It just engulfed completely. So eliminate that behavior, and what if you only did this trade? Boy, that would have been killer, man. But still, you managed it correctly. You had a small loser, a much bigger winner, and then a much bigger winner and a great hold, man. Excellent, Vladimir. J-Bone, would an ad be okay on the third candle? Well, what do you mean? So this red line, you mean this candle right here? Yeah, you might have to, you would have had to go through this pullback a little bit, and it kind of like, look at that, it holds VWAP, looks like it's going to bounce off it. It would have wicked you out potentially. But yeah, I mean, it's showing good strength. You've got the volume flooding in later. Yeah, you could totally get in here as well, J-Bone. That was really good patience, as Norm said. All right, Mark D, are you here, man? And then Hiltzy. Too big. Hey, Mark. All right, setup. Ah, see, you did it. Okay, good job, Mark. And we're gonna, just since you did this, let's do it. 5-minute ABCD. A, B, C, okay, D. Entry 201.54. Okay, great. The stop. Here's the thing, guys. On these trade reviews, I realized I can't even like go into the chart and look exactly. So I don't care about the stop price unless you calculate the cents as well. What I care about is how much you were risking, like 30 cents, and then how much was your profit target, which was 60 cents, for example. So those are the numbers I want to see, rather than the price on the chart. How many cents that you were risking, and how many cents was your target. That's what we're going to move towards. Much easier to see and to say, well, there you go. That's a 2-to-1 goal. Awesome. When we do it like this, it's just a little harder to figure that out. So that'll be one slight change we make. But I see it. You're risking $3 which is really wide, but I get it because you got it on the 5-minute low down here, so that's good. Profit was 207.50, right? You had to get a really large move to make that work out. Planned risk to reward was 2. Actual risk to reward was barely. We're going to call it a break even. Got on the new 5-minute high, realized immediately my stop was, oh, look, there you go. It was too large, right? Got out on a new 5-minute low after 9:55. Mark, that is perfect. Yep. You got in a trade. You realized the stop was too far away to get your intended risk to reward. I do that sometimes, and you have to manage the trade. You didn't like that candle. You get out on a new 5-minute low. Heck yeah. Don't let that thing go down to your original stop once you realize it. You may or may not have been stopped out right there, but I don't know what happened later in the day. So that's perfect trade management, Mark. Really, really good. It was a good trade idea also, but yeah, having your stop that far away is tough to hit a good risk to reward. And when you have this giant candle like this and you get a pullback, you gotta get close enough to the support to make the risk to reward worthwhile. Mark, it's a great stop. It's just that stop is very far away. You could have VWAP, but that's the same level. You can have a new 2-minute low, which would have been almost the same level. Just how the candles were formed, it's just really far away. And look, it pulled back to here. And that's the thing about getting the new 5-minute highs. The only way to try to do that is to expect there to be a pullback and then have patience to wait, where instead of getting on the breakout, get it on the pullback there, right? And it's very, very hard to do, but that's how you learn. That's what you need to do to reduce your stop. If your stop is down here, you must wait for the pullback, which probably 80% of the time happens. It really does. We just don't want to have patience to let it happen. It's tough to do, Mark. It was a really overall great idea, great setup, great analysis, great risk management. Love it. Hiltzy. Hiltzy, are you here? Probably saying it really wrong, but yeah, Hiltzy, that is right. Oh, and yeah, the spread was bad too, so it's, yeah, that's definitely true. This level 2 is not an actual screenshot, but it is approximately what it looked like when I took my entry. Dang. I see it. Okay. PDT. Setup. Breakout from consolidation at an all-time high. This is all-time high for PDD. Okay, interesting. Entry 32. Stop 31.85. Break of the 90 EMA on the 1 and a nearby consolidation support. I see it. Intended risk to reward all-time high. So I wasn't sure of the target. 32.50 seemed reasonable with a healthy pop. Can't recall how this differs from intended. Yeah, actualized. What did you actually get, Hilsey? That's what your intended, what you were wanting to get, and then what did you actually get? Like, did you follow your plan? And if so, great. If not, why? Did you make a smart decision like the last trader Mark? Or was it just a bad decision because you had skin in the game? Okay, so you were watching it because it all was all-time high. Great. 50 cent at open. Okay, healthy gap. Saw the huge bid and ask imbalance. Those two big numbers on the ask started to decrease rapidly. I love it, right? That's the wall cracking down is what that is, Hiltzy. It's think of it as it's a level 2 wall, and it's getting bought up. People are buying that wall and breaking it down. Ask on higher, yep, was far less hundreds. Knew the pop was likely. Yes, awesome. So Hiltzy, did it end up hitting 32.50? You get the volume pop, you get a pullback. Now it's at the moving average. Did it end up at 32.50? You got out a little over 1-to-1. So why did you not stick to your original plan? Okay, so just what's P&L got in your head? Do you have the P&L in front of you or not? I mean, do you look at the P&L? Okay. How did you take a normal amount of shares for this, or did you have a lot of shares? Did you manage your risk correctly with the... Okay. May I ask how many shares you took? And you don't have to answer if you don't want. Or you could just say how much as a percentage. Was it 200% of what you wanted to when you took 1,000 shares? And let's say if you were really smart, what should you have taken if you took a normal size on this? Got it. But let's say it's like a good setup. You're ready to take it. You're in a perfect mindset. You know exactly what you want to do. What would have been the right amount of shares for you? Okay. And that's good. And can you do that? I guess the point is, what I've learned, and you can calculate it on yourself later, is that when I go in heavy, I almost always get out earlier than I want. And then if I go back and look, if I went in normal size and waited for the move to happen at my normal size, the P&L sometimes better, sometimes worse, sometimes the same, but I just feel so much better that I stuck to my plan. And oftentimes I do have, it would have been a better P&L because I would have held for more than 30 seconds. Usually, like, I don't play things where I hold something for 30 seconds and get out, and the move is, if it's going to work out, it's going to be a bigger move. So if I take less share size, I can wait. But if I take heavy share size, it's impossible for me to wait for the move to happen, and I just get out on the pop. Which is great if you want to do it. It's awesome strategy that a lot of people do. It's just not what I want to do. So just think that through next time you're wanting to get in heavy. Sometimes you can make more by staying in light because you can hold more to your goal. But overall, love it. When this starts to break down, Hiltzy, I would have taken that trade with you. That's a great, great trade idea. I know exactly that type of play. Oliver on BURL, and then Anne, I'll remember that one for sure, and then Raggy. Alright, first trade I thought would hold the 9, but got out when it broke. Second was the ABC and the 5. High price of stock threw me off a bit on this one. Okay. Held the 9. So you go long at the 9, and you put your stop right under here. Where is this? This is the 1 minute and the 5 minute. I'm confused here. Where are the markers here? Oh, this is a 15 minute. Okay, sorry. I got it. Yeah, sorry, Oliver. Got it. Huge run up. You're trying to get back to the pullback on the 9. Trying to go long here. Okay, Oliver, I get it. It's not a bad idea. Where is the confirmation for this setup? What's the one thing you have to wait for, and then the setup works, if you want to trade this way? Can someone see it? Yeah, on the first trade. He has a really good trade idea, buying the pullback on a strong stock with good volume. Okay. Where's the confirmation that once the confirmation happens, the trade works out? Exactly. And that's what you did on the second one, man. Right? And sometimes you don't get that. Like, you want to buy here, and you put your stop, you know, somewhere at the 20 or VWAP, and a lot of times it works out, but you don't get the confirmation. The confirmation is exactly what you got here. You have the pullback, This pullback is still very extended. I would not want to take that long right there. That would be an extended play. So then no new 1 minute high. No new 1 minute high. You get it right there. New 1 minute low, new 1 minute low, no new 1 minute low, new 1 minute low, new 1 minute low, no new 1 minute low, no new 1 minute low. So the first time you get a real sense, Oliver, of something, right? The 1 minute is so hard to read, but any of us can see this. If it's no new low and it's a new high, I mean, there's your first actual confirmation for your pullback on a strong stock, holding VWAP, man. And you got it right there. On this trade, you got it. Now, where was your risk to reward on this? Because it looks like your stop was probably either this low or VWAP. It was VWAP. Yep. Yeah, Mark, see, that's a good entry. If you want to trade the 1 minute, no new 1 minute low and a new 1 minute high on the first candle that does that at support on a strong stock. That's a good entry. Down to VWAP. Yep, I see it. So, because it was a high price, I get it, and I'm not good with these also. So, your risk to reward was something like 1.5 or 2 to 1 on that first one, right? Yeah, so it's not bad. If you're going for that 2 to 1 on a high price stock, it's a really great entry right here. You get stopped out right here. This exit could have been a little early, but I get what you're saying. I do it too when I'm like not super comfortable with the price. I'm not as familiar with this. It could just move so fast against me. The spread might have been bad. So I get why you did that. These are a little better, and then these are really good partialing, right? This is like, it doesn't look like a lot, but it's every 50 cents or so. Every 30 to 50 cents, and you're just partialing up, locking in your money. And then look, you made the good decision right there. You got your trade, and it was going to pull back against you. So, first trade, I like the idea. Not wait for confirmation. Second trade, like the idea. Wait for confirmation. Really good stuff. Again, just like the other person who did the first trade that wasn't as good, but then their second trade was perfect. God, if we could only eliminate this trade, which I know you would ideally want to, and take this trade every day. And yeah, I don't know why I traded GE yesterday. Someone called it out in the chat, not blaming whoever that was. And then I just saw it. It looked interesting. And it wasn't on my watch list at all. I think I lost one loser on this. So, Ian, are you here? And Greg, I think any new trader should, if they don't care about the prize, to do stupid things, and if they just trade as if they were real, and just practice doing it real, because even though it's sim, you have the psychological benefit of having actual skin in the game in terms of it being in a competition where there is a prize, where don't trade to win the prize, but trade real. Use it as a tool to understand that it's gonna feel more like real than regular sim. That's what I would say. Okay, we'll come back to Anne. I'm sure she'll come back when she writes something. I'll get back to her. Raggy. No, you traded this too. Raggy, are you here? Greg, I like the idea. That's not a bad idea. Okay, looks like Raggy might not be here right now. We'll come back to them. Eric. Wow, what the heck are we looking at here? Is this a pre-market trade, man? Eric, are you here? Can people hear me? Okay, Raggy's here. Got it. Alright, so just Eric and Ann aren't here. Raggy's here. Alright, Raggy. Yeah, I think I did the same thing. I did something when it was... I shouldn't have done it. I wasn't looking at it. I wasn't familiar. It was just above VWAP and thinking that it was going to hold VWAP after it made a couple 1 minute candles. So when I did this, this was not a perfect setup, although it wasn't horrible, man. So what were you thinking though? Because I just kind of saw it and wanted to take a trade and shouldn't have. But what did you see on it? And traders on YouTube, again, you can post any trades you want in our forum. You don't have to sign up or do anything. You can just be a guest and post them there if you want. And feel free to comment if you guys see anything also. Yeah, Raggy, was this... why did it not come up on our scanners? Well, was it on our scanners? Yeah, it was. It was a big gap up. Okay, it was. Okay, we get the big gap up over here. It was above VWAP. It's trying to hold. Yeah, I guess, I mean, when you're talking about like that, holding VWAP, making new 5 minute highs on a big gap up, later you did get the move above VWAP. So what do you guys see in this? Because, yeah, I wasn't thrilled with this trade when I did it. But when I all right, above VWAP trying to hold. Above VWAP trying to hold. In new 5 minute highs. In a new 15 minute high. What do you guys see? Alejandro sees the 15 minute struggling, yeah? That's in a clear 15-minute downtrend when we're trying to go long above VWAP. Whoever this is Eric. This is Raggy, yeah. Not much volume on the one. Ooh, yeah. Very little volume on the one. See this, Raggy. Even though I did this with you, it's not a trade I'm thrilled with at all. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't like a perfect setup. I wasn't familiar with it. And clearly, like, now I'm seeing this that someone's pointing out, yeah. Once the 15 minute starts to turn, still a couple times above VWAP, gets stopped out, then it makes the move without you. It's respecting the moving average on the 15. Yeah, it's respecting that time frame. Low volume, Robinson. You think that's a big key here? So Raggy, that's definitely important. When we get stuff with low volume and you and I trade something, we don't have a lot of volume. We're not trading with other people who are seeing it. We want to trade along with the higher volume. We want to see that influx. And we definitely weren't getting it. And when we were getting it, it just dumped against us both times. People weren't agreeing with us. I'm just looking at it a little more here. Yeah, it didn't work out, Raggy, and that's why we don't want to take 3 of these trades all in the same stock like this. I think I did it once and I let it go, and I realized like it just something I wasn't very comfortable with for some reason. And you're doing the same thing, long above VWAP, get stopped out, long above VWAP, get stopped out. So that's the only thing I would say. I did pretty good at limiting my desire to overtrade a single stock just because I traded it once. And that's something you could think about too. Addicted to Trading 722 is saying on YouTube that it's extended on the 60-minute chart. So even though it's in a clear 60-minute uptrend, it's really extended. I mean, and then right, extended pullback, And then it makes the move. So yeah, Raggy, decent trade. Didn't work out. I was with you, not feeling this one. And obviously it didn't work out for us. Yeah, yeah, and I think a lot of us didn't. I don't think the volume was there. It wasn't. Just don't feel good about that trade. Sorry, Rag, I didn't have. Not this one. It was the next one. Got it. I was wondering what was going on here, but then Anne's back. So, oh, you did. Okay, let's see what you did, Anne. You got stuck in GES just like us, just in a different way. So it looks like, Anne, you're trying to 5 minutes, consolidation, wait for the pullback to the moving average, put your stop, give your stop enough room for a new, you gave your stop a lot of room here, Anne, right? Yeah, and you got squeezed. Yeah, you got a nasty squeeze there. I see it. Yeah, you gave yourself a wide stop, which is good sometimes, but the stop could be right over this consolidation. Maybe you got some slippage. But yeah, and it's, again, this is the same thing as what myself and Raggy did, where we were trying to go long above VWAP on a pretty good looking chart. You're trying to go short below all these moving averages after it breaks down. Again, it looks like a decent setup, and you waited for the pullback. Your stop was a little wide. It was in this clear 15-minute downtrend, new lows. And then once it made the new 15-minute high, you know, it squeezed up. And you had the increasing volume here trying to lose it. BG from YouTube, I got it. Yeah, we'll see if we have time. Is there a level at 1846? Not sure if there was. It looks like she marked one something around 1854. So that's what Alejandro's saying. 5 red candles. Looks a little extended. This is the pullback. You're wanting to go short under VWAP. He's thinking it's looking extended. So I get what you're saying. Like the pullback, the selling already happened. But yeah. So, Anne, we can nitpick at it, but again, it's not a horrible idea. To lose the moving average, it's got empty space. It is that gap up, so we know that. And I think it's a decent execution with a little bit too wide a stop on a trade that just didn't really work out. And those are going to happen all the time, especially for new traders. And so now you got to make sure that it didn't lead to some bad behavior, and you accept your loss and move on. And I think 1846, 15 minute, a good level that would be decent would be right somewhere in this range. If it's going to break through that consolidation, there's a good chance it's going to squeeze up. Thanks, and DOS has an automatic level feature? I didn't know that. Yeah, Raggy, definitely. Oh, previous low, low, and high. Yeah, got it. Yeah. Okay, Greg, so Eric, you just submitted that one on accident. We'll get to yours. All right, Greg. And then J-Bone. And that's the thing, Anne and Raggy and myself that played GES. I mean, it gapped up and it had a chance to move. And sometimes these gaps up, it just isn't the one that's going to move during the day, and we get stuck trading the wrong one. And maybe part of that is to note the volume. And a lot of the other traders saw that the volume wasn't significant on that one. And so, again, that's something to note that's really important to stock selection. Not only is the gap up important, but the volume that we're trading with when we're making our decisions is important. So, Greg, I'm sure you're here, Greg. Dang, Greg, you are holding. BBBY. I knew BBY was in play. I don't think I saw BBBY. Got it. So someone called it out on the chat. You had your wedge. And then, so what exactly? Okay, here we go. BBY. Oh, it was the wedge. Wedge. Okay. Enter in here. Number of shares, 200. Oh, okay, because it's a very low price stock. Awesome. In at 934. Break of the wedge horizontal plane. I see it. 10 stop loss was low of the consolidation period. Right, so somewhere in this range right there. Let's try to make it right there. Profit target was 2 to 1 as long as it's still showing strength. Partial out 75%. Reward 20. Extended after the shooting star on the 1 and doji on the 2. Right, you exit out a little. Okay, so exited after the shooting star on the shooting star on the 1. Okay. And doji on the 2. Not sure what doji you're talking about on the 2 here, but okay. Oh, maybe it was later. Maybe this is what you're talking about. Not sure. Got it. Okay, and after you went... Oh, got it. Alright, Greg. Really great. Wedges, I'm trying to learn about them too. They seem to be very, very strong to give good indicators. We have what we've been talking about in the other trade ideas. You've got the open charts. You've got room on the daily, Greg, which is really important. You're not finding resistance on any of these charts. And then you're definitely playing within volume spike. So you love the volume that we didn't have on our GES trade, guys. We did not get the volume for sure, which means people are looking at this with you, Greg, which is awesome. You give yourself decent stop, and then you hold, Greg. This is an amazing hold for patience. You wait for your targets. Love it. You're trying to read the chart, and sure enough, you read that right to get out there. And then Zen, did you submit the trade? We can jump to yours if you did. But yeah, and then you get a double shooting star at the top of a trend. Even though it's on the 1 minute, it's still the double with increasing volume, potentially hitting some level up here. Greg, did these wick out at this moving average? It didn't? It looks like, so this looks like 973. And this would be 950. So this moving average isn't about 975, 973. It kind of looks like it. But it wasn't like that? Okay, but it looks like it did that. So the point is, when you get some sort of reversal indicator, which is like that double shooting star, which isn't significant that much on the 1 minute, but if that corresponds with some other significant moving average on another time frame, I just love that. Again, those are the trades, Greg and Zen, where if I could pause it and you could tell me what you're doing, I would be all over that trade. So then Zen, why did you decide to go short right here when it's so extended? What was your short entry reasoning? So when you, okay. Yeah, Zen, I see it. Shooting star, nice volume. Okay, so shooting, let's actually zoom this in so you can see. Shooting star, on good volume, extended from VWAP, and then waiting for confirmation of this to close as a spinning top with with downward momentum. And then notice, right? No new 1 minute high, no new 1 minute high, no first 1 minute high. That's not really significant. Still going down. Yeah, Zen, I love it. I love it. And you looked at the 2. And then just note, Zen, this, like I said on Greg's trade, when that happens at some sort of significant level, like the moving average on the daily, it's such a great one. And you had a 15-minute doji? Yeah, Zen. Good trade, Zen. Good handoff, Greg. Hand it off again to Zen, I'm sure. See, Art, you're trading in the, I wasn't able to follow your comments, Art. You're in the off topic. Gotta do it in the main chat. Thanks for trying, though, and I'm trying to stay within the 3 to 5 minutes. BBBY, BBBY. And then this, and oh no, it's okay. I won't see it in the off topic though. That's the problem, as much. So this NTNX one was from who? J-Bone. All right, J-Bone, are you still here? And then Eric. Alright, J-Bone. Alright, J-Bone. So I got your email. Again, I'll still take time to reply. Hey, you did the... Right, you wait for the pullback. Wait for this new one. The new 1 minute high. Holding above VWAP. On the daily gap up. Plenty of volume here. 300,000 shares of volume. On each 1 minute candle or something like that. 200,000, 300,000. Wait for the pullback. So what exactly were you looking for, J-Bone? What was your confirmation to get in that trade? What did you see specifically? Because it's a great setup. Like I'm jealous of your entry here. How did you take this? Because we talked about it, right? No new 1 minute low. No new 1 minute high. Off of support, new 1 minute high. Saw the big gap up on the daily and support off the moving average on the 1. Yeah, the wicks are fine. That's understandable. They wick through and then they hold. So great, right? Simple as that, right, J-Bone? You get a good catalyst. You have a good catalyst with good news. You wait for the pullback. You simply wait for a new 1 minute high without buying on this. I'm sure this tempted a lot of people. I actually guarantee you it did, and that's why it squeezed so bad because they had to get the heck out. Have some patience. Get in here. Hit your risk to reward. Add in a little bit more. Bam. Really good, J-Bone. That's fantastic trading. It looks good because you were right. Now, where was your stop from right here, though? Did you have a stop, or were you just going in? It could be there. Could be a moving average. It could be this 1 minute low. It could be low of the day. Break of the moving average. Which one? The 9, the 20, or the 50? Okay, so your moving average was this. Okay, so you got about a 1.5 or something risk to reward. You added in here to make that bigger, and then you start to scale out. Is that pretty much correct? I moved my stop to my... Awesome. Okay, so you added, then you reduced your risk. Great. Then everything about that's a really nice trade, man. Again, this is a trade I would have jumped in with you. It's got all the elements of an A1 setup that you want. That's what you want to do every day. So I took a couple A1 setups today. I took a couple setups that I thought were pretty good, but then when I look back, they weren't. But what I didn't do is anything stupid after my losses, and I was really happy with that. And so I know on your email, man, like it's always good to have good trades, and we think, now we've got this, we're doing really well. But the hardest thing and the best time to learn about how you're doing as a trader is what you do after your losing trades. Okay, we all feel great after the winners, but what do you do after the losing trades? So that's what I want you to make sure you're well aware of. Take this setup 100 times, but when you lose on it, don't let it lead to bad trading. All right, Eric, is this the one you want to see? Oh man, I started out with about 300 shares of Nvidia and took 4 small partials successfully, but still had a lot in the trade. For the last stretch, I left with a 50-cent trailing stop, but if it was 51 cent, it would have caught the breakout. My system is normally to use the stop length of ATR on the 2-minute candle, but that was 61 cents and I was being cheap. TradeIdeas also recommended a smart stop of 73 cents, but I usually consider those recommendations too wide. Well then, great, Eric. Okay, let me ask you this, Eric. Did you follow your entry? Just answer yes or no. Is this a good entry according to your setups? I know, Zen. I think it's a fantastic trade, but I want to make sure. So first, he had a good entry. That's 1. Okay. We'll say good entry, 1 point. Is this a good exit according to your plan? This is the worst exit you've ever had. So was this too soon? Alright, well, we're going to count 2 down here then against you. Alright, what about this exit? Yeah, how was this second exit? Oh, okay. So 10%, 10%, something like that instead of 33%. Okay. It just looks like, even though, I guess I want to get to this, the full stop at the 50 cent. Are you just disappointed that you got stopped out by a penny and then you missed the big move? Or did you do something outside of your normal plan for this? This is the main thing I want to get to for you. Is this part of your normal plan and it was just unfortunate that it happened? Okay, so then if you don't want your 50-cent trailing stop, let's say that was a bad decision. You wish you wouldn't have done the 50-cent trailing stop. And if you could go back, what would have been the smart decision? Not because of to make it work out, but what should you have done? Okay, so why should it have been 61 cents? Let me go back to what you said earlier. ATR on the 2-minute candle, it's 61 cents. All right, so Eric, guess what, man? You took your profit and you didn't do it perfectly. Then you got stopped out still for a little bit of profit and you didn't do it perfectly. Now, it's such a clear, simple lesson, right? You have your plan. You study for your plan. You make your plan when you're really, really smart and level-headed, I imagine. Is that all correct? Okay. And then when you're in the market, for many different reasons that we can't stamp down at this point, you change your plan based on how much money you've made, over analyzing the chart and all that jazz, right? Right. I kind of get that sense, Zen. So Eric, this is the simple thing. You either learn from this trade to follow your plan, or you learn from this trade to change your plan, but you can't have it both ways. You can't say you have a good plan, but then like, oh, I don't want to follow my plan in the market. I don't like it how it feels when I'm trading it. I have these feelings about it when I'm doing it, when I have my skin in the game, because I don't want to let my winner turn into a loser or a winner. I want to lock in that final bit of profit, or however you think about it. You have a really great plan, it looks like, that I bet you're pretty happy with, because if you put in all that work to say 2 times ATR of the 2-minute chart plus 2 cents, that means you've studied a lot, Eric. That means you've studied more than many traders, and you're using techniques that other traders don't use. So I'm going to guess that's a fairly thought out and strategic plan. And if you go through that process and you look back at your charts and be like, if I only followed my plan, that's an easy thing to fix. And what you got to do is you got to follow your plan and accept the times that your plan doesn't work out, because you know from all the studying, from all the knowledge, from all the charts you've looked at, if you just hold to your plan, you're going to have some losers like you did today, but when you do it, or you wouldn't have had the loser today. You'll have some losers that'll stop you out, but then you'll have much bigger winners. So it's really good stuff, man. Elijah caught a sneaky short. Elijah, what were you doing here? And then Jean, and then Nigel. Yeah, the daily I saw there was resistance. Got it. Oh, wrong one. Okay, you were somehow on resistance on the daily. Okay. You see this 1 minute sell-off. And this is a scalp, right? This is 100% scalp, and you were happy with this? Yeah, awesome. I see it. Okay, it's under view app. You got the 1 minute engulfing. You see the moving average, so you partial out heavy there. This is not a dump play, correct? Like, you're not expecting it to be a big leg down, I'm guessing. You're just making a little price action move. Yep, just a little bit. Awesome then, right? A little quick scalp. 1 minute engulfing. You get it right there. You're going to have a pretty tight stop, I know, on this. And then you just take profit as you're just happily taking profit. So Elijah, when people scalp like this, they usually take a large share size. Can I ask what your share size was? 400. Okay, so it was reasonable. So you weren't like partially out like a madman to lock in a crazy amount of profit. That's a very reasonable amount to scalp. And I love it. I wouldn't do this, but I see exactly the opportunity that you were going for. And I love the mindset to know it's not a long trade. Heck yeah, man. That is an Andrew type of trade right there. Not saying he would do that, but just getting in and out really quick, reading that price action, 1 minute engulfing. Don't care about how strong it is in the moment, because you're only going to be in and out of it in a couple seconds to a minute. I see it. Yeah, it would have been 10 times as much, that's for sure. You got that right, Elijah. And then is this Jean? Jean and then Nigel. Yeah, I didn't touch box. I don't think I did, at least. So what were you thinking here? What was your setup, man? And then for YouTube, Sanjit, huge fan from India, trying to follow your teachings in the Indian market. Thanks so much. And Zelisk, I know it's probably been asked, but where is Andrew? Andrew's on a vacation. He's off the grid. He'll be back next week. Okay, Jean, passed on level 1298. Okay, so it went up past your level of 1298. Above all the moving averages. on the 2 minute and the 5 minute, other than this one. So you had this one in the way and this one, but you had space to get to it, which is where you profited out on, so that's fine. Right? It acts as resistance when it gets there. And it's not sloping down, it's going to the side, so it's not going to be coming like this down into your way. So it'll be a slow process to get there. Right? You should partial there, yeah. Oh, you got all out. All right, so it looks like a fantastic trade, and one of those trades where I'd be bummed because I'm like, I bet you got your risk to reward of 2 or 3 to 1, and then you wish you would have partialed because the move had continued. Is that right? Yeah, I see it. That's exactly how it feels. So when you got entered in here, share with people where exactly was your stop. The 1298 level. So it was, I don't know, 10 cents or something? 5 cents, 10 cents? Right. Okay, so you're going, it was a gap down, right? And so a lot of people are going to be looking for the gap down. But it's showing strength, and it's above a lot of the moving averages. And the price action in the pre-market came to a point where a lot of these moving averages were down beneath it, underneath, acting as support. Then you waited for the increasing volume. You got it on a new, basically 5-minute high on a new level, and there was clearly buyers that were not letting this go back down. They saw this as a good opportunity, and we never know when that will be. But on this chart, it sure looks bullish, right? You got that going on right there, that wedge pattern. You got 5-minute ORB potential. You've got a bull flag potential right there. So yeah, it's a really, really good trade, John. No new 2-minute low, yep. No new 2-minute low, no new 2-minute low. You got it right there on the first 2-minute low, and then it makes another leg up, and it just keeps making more and more legs up. Yeah, man. That's a good trade. Again, even though it gapped down and it had some in the way, I love that it had all those things working for you. That's a good trade. Okay, Nigel. I feel like you're always late, man, so we'll make sure that we're going to get to yours this time. And then from YouTube is BGII King. BG King, are you still here? All right, I'll do Alejandro. I'll do yours just because you asked, but then that will be it. And then I want to get to 1. Right, guys? I try to do it for 1 hour, and I try to be quick. And as we get more and more, I don't know, maybe we can all brainstorm a different routine so it's not just the first people in line. We'll have to solve that problem. And then we could say just like limit it to 2 to 3 minutes, but then it gets really tough because we don't get into depth as much. Everyone's going to change their name, Jared. So we'll try to problem solve that, but just know we're trying. And then you're going to get really mad because I want to get to 1 YouTube trade each time at the very end, and you'll be like, what about my trade? So I get it. It's not perfect. We're trying here. Yeah, see? Ardvari. Okay. Let's see. Whose trade was this? Nigel, right? And then we'll just get more trades, and then it'll go to 2 hours. I've been up since 4:30, and I've been working constantly, so it's about my midday siesta time is what's about to happen. So Nigel, all right. So we'll get to Nigel, we'll get to Alejandro, then we'll get to BG King. All right, so let's see here. Control. Strategy, bit of an ABCD or a bull flag on the 5-minute while holding VWAP and the 9. Holding VWAP, holding the 9, wicking up here, right there. Target 44.66, second target 40. 484. And so you did eventually get this move. Okay, now I don't see all the other time frames, so I don't see what's happening, but I can tell you, Nigel, there's two things I would say. Was this specifically in play today? Okay, I don't think it was either. I mean, it made a good move for sure. And then what, Nigel, do you know what Andrew always says about MU and AMD? Especially when they're not in play? They follow SPY. No, but he doesn't. He says that. I don't remember him specifically saying that, but maybe he does. But something else he talks about with these two stocks. Choppy garbage. Yeah, well, something else. Usual suspects. He says a lot of times you're lucky to get 30-cent moves out of this. And there's two moments you get those 30-cent moves. You get it here, and you get it here. But after this really big candle, that's a 60-cent move on a day that it didn't look like it was in play, or at least many of us weren't looking at it to be in play. That's a very big move for MU, where it's very extended. And I'm just using what I learned from Andrew when he talks about that. Now, if it's in play, all bets off. It can make big moves. But that's already a very, very big move for MU. Does that make sense, Nigel? And that's why if this stock was more in play and you had more people looking at it and it definitely had a news catalyst, oof, it'd be a different story. Right? And again, in the interview we're going to release, he said one of the most important things, just as important as setups, is what this really good professional famous trader told us. It's your stock selection. What stock are you going to choose to risk your money on for the setup that you study? Are you really going to risk your money on MU on that it's overextended on a day that it didn't have a news catalyst and wasn't in play? Maybe you will, but maybe you'll learn that there's other better opportunities to risk your money on. And it was just really just not even eye-opening because I know this, but how he said it and just that he said it to like my face. He's like, yeah, like that's what more of a professional trader does. They put equal emphasis on their ability to pick the right stock on top of picking the right setup. Okay, Alejandro. Norm knows. I think Norm is being funny, I guess. Alright, Alejandro, because you asked. Overtime time. Alejandro. If you want me to stay just to have you show off to us, man, is that what's happening right here? Is that what you're doing? Oh, Norm, it was from the interview that you are releasing next week. I know, I'm just having fun with how I'm saying it, Alejandro. Okay, so, I mean, okay, let's see. I mean, that's a time in sales. I don't know how else you do that. You're playing a double bottom. Are you looking at time in sales or not? So let's see. You've got the, where's the daily? 2 minute. I guess this is the daily. Okay, you've got the daily. There was a gap fill from on the daily, which filled it yesterday. And I saw the 2 minute hammer and took the dip on that wrist 4 cents low of the day. So let's zoom in here. So you saw this hammer, right? And then you're betting that this is going to be the bottom. I see what you're doing, man. You're saying this is going to be the bottom. And if I have the patience to get out, to get in near the bottom, to really minimize my stops, did you load up the boat? Did you load the boat on your shares because your stop was so tight or not? Right? And you're using the gap fill. I get it, at the 41.40. Okay, you went in with regular size. Okay, so I like it. You're using the daily. You're using a candle. You're using getting close to your stop. And you're using the idea to minimize your risk. Okay. Exactly. So that was going to be, because you were going to show off, I wasn't going to give you all praise. When you do this, man, I love the setup. But you're banking on the fact that you're hitting the bottom, right? You're assuming that you're hitting the absolute bottom in this trade. Is that built into this trade idea? Correct. And so, I mean, I love this exit. This exit's amazing. This exit's perfect too at VWAP. What is this exit? Okay, what percent is this one? The first one was a 2-to-1. Okay. So then 50% at 2-to-1. Now, if you look back on this and you're saying that here's my setup, I'm playing an absolute bottom with a very tight stop. So I think you probably would have got, it looks bigger than 2-to-1, but okay, I guess it's a 2-to-1. Are you happy with your first exit being a 2-to-1 on a setup that's a bottoming action on your gap fill where you're expecting a big move? Like, would you change your plan or not? Okay, Alejandro, I would say yes. Consider modifying your partial. And if you still want to lock in something at that 2-to-1, to feel it out, only take 25% or 20% on that first one. Because again, built within this idea is that it's the reversal point and you're catching it at the very bottom. For this to work out, you need to maximize the reward, because you will be wrong many times on this setup. But if you're right on this setup and you hold, ooh, oh man, it's well worth it. It's an amazing setup if you can execute the partials correctly. So you've got your entry, your stop, and your exit. Awesome entry for the strategy, awesome stop placement for the strategy. Exit, really good for the most part, but consider holding past a 2-to-1 for your first exit, or decrease the share size at your first exit from 50% to 33, 25, or 20%. Oliver, it is extremely risky. He's specifically doing something really hard for new traders, okay? I don't know how long he's been trading, but he's saying this hammer is going to mark the low of the day. And then he's saying, I'm going to have patience to let it go back down to the low to give myself the proper risk to reward that I want to minimize my risk and to get very close to where I want to put my stop. Then that takes a lot of patience to do. A lot of patience. This exit, is that exit the same one on the other chart? Was it just kind of... Yeah, again, this exit is just not right for the strategy. Even though it's a 2-to-1, man, you get to hold longer on this, Alejandro. Yeah, I see it. Especially if you are... I said that you can't do this without the time and sales, and you didn't say anything about the time and sales. But that's how you get it, man. If you're staring at the time and sales, you're seeing there's red action going down back to that price, and then it stops, and then you see black and green. Oh, man. There it is. Kevin, oh yeah, he would get slippage, but the thing is, on this stock, I mean, he'll definitely get slippage, but on Twitter, not much. Not much at all. That's the beautiful thing about playing stocks like Twitter. Maybe a little more, because there could be so many orders there, Alejandra. But I'm with you. Let's say between 2 and 6 cents. You get somewhere between 2 and 6 cents slippage. All right, now we're gonna do one. If it's here, yeah, this is from YouTube, so don't hate on me, Bearable Traders. I spent overtime to get a couple more trades, and we're just gonna do one more here, and one from YouTube. I just want to try to get one from YouTube a day. No, okay, so you'll still be last then. And if there's one person ahead of you, dang it. Don't do it. Don't do me like that, man. Or sorry. I know, that's why I said sorry. I know, I said don't, man, and I said sorry. I remember. Abigail. I didn't know your name was Abigail, and now that will really connect. Abigail. Fine. Okay, we're gonna do BJ King, and then we're gonna do Abigail, and then I'm off. Alright. BG King. Let's see what this person did, and it's kind of fun to look at this. Alright, let me get this over here. Get this. So, bought 300 shares of AMD at 30.37. Wow, these are tough to read. Alright, so BG King, when you submit these, if you can mark up your chart to show where your entries are, that makes it very helpful. It's going to be somewhere in here at 30.37. Sold 200 shares at 30.67. And sold 100 shares at 30.90. Somewhere in there. First trade on AMD, saw it was holding the daily level, was holding with SPY, which was long off the 200 SMA on the 5, got in long, sold at the initial partial, sold the rest at 30.90, was a good trade. Had to be patient to wait for the move. I set stop and limit orders while waiting. Didn't want to overanalyze staying a chart. I did leave some profit on the table when it moved to 31.20. Alright, this is actually really good. I'm not gonna, these charts are hard for me to read, and since I can't see the entries and indicator, I'm gonna say I don't care about the chart, BG King. What I see is you used daily, you used moving averages on a smaller time frame, you put in hard stops and limit orders. You did that so you wouldn't overanalyze, which means you're doing your best to stick to your plan. And then you waited, and then you hit your targets that you wanted to. It sounds like you did everything right. And then you did what I do, which is leave profit on the table. So yeah, that's exactly what a lot of us do, and you probably don't feel good about that. And that's part of a really good trade usually. Getting out too early is a normal part of a good trade. So in terms of having a plan, executing the plan, using multiple time frames without me reading the chart to see it and see all the different time frames I look at, I really like how you stuck to your plan and you use hard stops and limit orders, which is what I do for the most part, although not always, because it allows me to accomplish my plan. Without those hard stops and limits, it's sometimes impossible for me to hold to my plan. So I really like that as a strategy if you're not scalping. And if you're not scalping and if you're looking to hold, this is a great way to become more and more successful and confident in your trading. So I like it a lot. Yeah, and someone from our chat, BG King Zen, or Abigail, I'm going to start using your name until you tell me not to, Abigail, says that you can actually mark your trades up, BG King. So you can, she says, you can make TD show the entry and exit as bubbles. So you can put that in, it'll just be easier to see for people. I have a problem of exiting early. Yeah, BG, me too. And how I worked on it was exactly how you did it today, by putting in the partials and waiting and not overanalyzing. It's exactly what helped me. So continue to do that and modify that strategy, but that's really great. Thank you for submitting. Really like it, and that's a good reminder for myself and everyone. That's the type of trading I want to do. With having the plan, sticking to the plan, waiting for one thing to happen. It's good stuff. All right, no one else make me feel bad. Abigail will be, and Abigail didn't do anything. I'm just, you didn't make me feel bad, Abigail. Don't worry. But last trade, unless it's not. All right, good long, Abigail. See you guys later. All right, kidding. Zen, let's go back. So Zen, it looks like you shared two trades. Do you want to go over the Nvidia, or or the Ollie one? Which one would you prefer? Nvidia. All right. Okay. Let's give this the full analysis and time it deserves. Reason for entry: Nvidia, good daily chart, harmonious. Okay, awesome. If you've got the good daily chart and you're trying to incorporate that into your trading, that's a great point in your favor. Okay. Market, SPY green after a couple of down days. All right. If you're trying to incorporate that as well as a general guide, again, the person we interviewed, he said exactly that. He said within the stock selection and within the setup, what's the trend of the market? So you're doing two things now that we talked about with the professional trader that said that this is what professional traders do. They look at the daily chart and they look at the SPY to find a trend. This isn't quite a norm trade. Norm entry would be if it wicked down here, he would get it right there before the move happened going up. That's the norm entries then. Okay, so then entry 165.49 with the stop 19 cents, 20 cents away at VWAP. Okay, so your stop is at VWAP. Mistake, instead of half size, took full size. Okay, Zen, why is that a mistake? Was it because it's a higher price stock or because it's in the first 5 minutes? Okay, because so Zen, you have a hard stop of 10 cents, meaning if it's Nvidia, MU, or Tesla, you use 10 cents. Like in general, and I know you can't just say you'll do 10 cents for everything, but in general, you're not looking for technical levels. You're just doing on how much you're willing to risk on the trade, which is 10 cents, or 20 cents, or 30 cents, and then you change your share size. I got it. But you're not looking for technical levels. You're just doing it how much you will risk per trade, right? Okay, so based on the technical level, you'll adjust your share size. So because VWAP was within that 20 cent range, then you can do your 20 cent stop. And then you just made the mistake. I gotcha. Got it. Should have taken half size. Awesome. Okay, so good. So lesson learned. Okay, you benefited from having that mistake today, but I get that you can take that lesson. Okay, your target was 2R. When it was strong, held to technical levels. First partial was 7R. Second partial was 3.5R. Okay, Zen. So this is what you can share with people. How did you decide to change your mind from a 2R and to let it run? What did you see in this chart that you loved to change your plan in the correctly? Awesome. So now you're telling me, Zen, you're reading the tape along with the day level and the SPY. So what else did you see? There's something glaring in here that I want to know if you actually saw it. Yeah, no 1 or 2 minute lows. What else? The volume is not amazing, but it's not bad. I would say it's fine. Okay, but what else? Yeah, the increasing volume is good. Like, it's definitely going in your favor, but there's something else. Yeah, Henry, it is harmonious, so it has upward potential. Zen, and also remembering Norm's ADSK. Got it. Now, Zen, what do you mean you were also watching 5 minute? Never makes, yeah, Jabo, and it doesn't make a new 1 minute low, so there's definitely, like, there's no reason to get out. But Abigail found herself in a really good position. If she can look at this chart, once she's already in it, what happens in this chart once she's already in it that creates a much better interesting play than a 2-to-1? Okay, didn't touch the moving average, yeah, but I'm looking for something specific. And so you're saying good things, and okay, so this will be something that maybe you can all learn. VWAP held out. Yeah, booty! You're coming from YouTube over here to say you don't want to do it in YouTube? Zen. Okay, just think about this. You're in NVIDIA, and you know this thing can move $1, right? Like, it's not MU. It can easily move $1. Okay, you're risking only 20 cents at a 2-to-1. Okay, so you're here, and your 2-to-1 is somewhere like this. 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 4 minute, 5 minute. Okay, now let's ask this question to people. If it is the harmonious chart, meaning there's no moving average in our way, on any of the time frames, which I'm not sure if it was, and if it was a good gap up on the daily, and if you saw strong tape, and if you get in, almost ruined it. If you get in right here, and this closes right here as a 5-minute ORB, who here thinks this is a really great opportunity for a 5-minute ORB long play? Whether or not you hold for a pullback, she's already in on the pullback. Does this look like a good ORB potential? Type in 1 if you think it's a good ORB potential. Type in 2 if you don't think it looks good. And remember, she's already in it before the breakout, so she's not playing the breakout. Yeah, Zen, so you found yourself in the trade on a strategy that then led to a 5-minute ORB, and it's actually not that hard to miss. I'm not saying that sounded rude. I don't mean it like that. I'm saying like this is something you can add to your playbook, where you're like, okay, we look at 5-minute ORBs all the time. Let me look at the 5-minute chart. Well, gosh darn, I'm already in this. I'm in NVIDIA. I've already got my 2-to-1, but this looks like a clear 5-minute ORB. Let me modify this plan. And you did modify your plan for other reasons, but so many traders would have entered long when you were already in here for an ORB. Yeah, heck yeah, Zen. So that's really, really good. You see, everyone said that looked like a good ORB potential, and it definitely does. Doesn't mean they can trade it because they might not want to trade the breakout, and maybe they don't get the pullback. But for the people who are fine trading the breakouts, and for the people that are already in it wanting to add in, I mean, it's a clear, really good 5-minute ORB potential. This guy's so cute. But thank you, everyone, for participating. Sorry we didn't get to everyone's trade. I went faster for sure today. We can still try to go a little faster to try to get through trades. And if it becomes a problem, we can try to figure out what we can do to solve. You know, because if we just have more than usual. And I think people in here are generally pretty good. If people always have their trades because they're just in the room first and they submit trades, they can tell me, hey, skip my trade if there's a lot. You know, things like that. We can just all help each other out. Yeah, Zen. Yeah, have a great day, everyone. We'll see you guys tomorrow. I think it's the last day. And then Monday, we have the market closed for the holiday. And then Tuesday. Okay, you guys, I'm going to talk about this tomorrow in the room, but I'll just remind all of you. Tomorrow's a Friday. Monday is a holiday. That is the worst day for trading to do stupid things on a Friday where you have a long weekend and a holiday, meaning you don't get to trade until Tuesday, and you might be with family or friends, so you might be doing something especially fun. These are the days you either don't trade, you trade really small share size, or you just do really, really great at sticking to your rules and accepting if you have a losing day and not doing anything dumb. You don't want to ruin this. It's happened to me too many times, and so I've learned the hard way. Just be very, very mindful of being extremely smart tomorrow going into the weekend. Tuesday's a much better day to not be as smart because you get to trade Wednesday and everyone's gone probably. You've already had your fun weekend, but don't do it tomorrow. Not tomorrow. No, Persistent K. Definitely not for tomorrow. Yeah, save the stupid stuff for Tuesday, not tomorrow. Alright, see you guys. I'll see you guys in the morning.